Welcome to Lawfolds Farm for episode 23 with me, Mr. Sealy P. I decided as I was pulling the trailer up to Highland Grain to sell my first load of soybean. I love this tractor and it's been absolutely brilliant on the farm. It was a little bit underpowered, pulling heavy loads and things like that, and I haven't been using it a huge amount. So I'm selling it. He says 104,000. That's actually not too bad. You notice my money's lower than it was when I ended the last episode. That's because to replace it, I've bought its big brother. So, gone with the JCB Fast Track 8310 or 8310. 310 horsepower, so it's got a bit more oomph to it. I wanted another JCB, why not? Probably when I get back to the yard. I don't know whether I'm going to stick wide tyres in it or not. I'll leave it standard. Might leave it standard. So what I'm going to do now is carry on with soybeaning. God, that's got a much throatier engine than the other one. Oh, I like the sound of that. Please don't rock. Okay, we get no tractor rocking, so maybe it was the mod. Who knows? It might have just been the mod and tractor combination. Don't know. Okay. Get this back and crack on with the soybeaning. Now you may remember me mentioning in, well, it wasn't the last episode, maybe the one before, about the Lemken Solitair and that it wouldn't let me set a worker, it wasn't giving the option to set a worker, etc. And I said I would probably buy another seeder or replace this one. I've had a comment left by Dylan. Thank you very much, Dylan, for the comment left. He's been doing some testing on seeders, and it would appear that out of all the seeders in game, the Lemken Solitaire is the only one that won't let you hire a worker. There's some kind of bug, glitch, whatever it is, it won't let you. It won't come up with the option to let you. Whether that's on all platforms, whether that's just PlayStation 4, whether it's consoles, I honestly don't know. But thank you for that, Dylan. What I'm going to do now, because I wanted to put soybean in this field to 28-29, the one that I had corn in last time, I'm going to use the seed that I've got in it. Once it's empty, I'm going to sell it and replace it with a seeder that I can set a worker on. Otherwise, working on a lot of these big fields is going to become incredibly difficult, because if you can't set a worker, it's going to take hours and hours and hours. So that's what I'm going to do. I also had a comment left by Angel Eyes saying to pay off my loan. And it's a fair point. I'd forgotten all about the fact I haven't taken any more out on it, but I've got the loan. I think I started with, I think it's 50,000. So I think the next time I do a big haul, whether it's on soybean, whether it's wood chipping, actually I might just do one load of wood chipping, I think, and that will pay off my loan. Pay that off and I will be debt free. So thank you both of you for those comments. I will get on that straight away. So I'm going to carry on doing this for a bit. The harvester is now chugging away behind me over there on field 27, carrying on with the soybean harvest. So should be quite a profitable day. That's what I'm hoping. I'm going to be sticking soybean back in all of these fields around here. I've got a barley field down there, I've got a wheat field over there, I've got a sunflower field there, no, sorry, canola field there, I think. I've got a sunflower seed field over there on 22. and I'm thinking of buying a bigger field for doing another big silage harvest on. I'm going to need more corn for the pigs at some point, so a bigger field means I can use some of it for corn, some of it for silage. Anyway, that's the plan. So I'll carry on, as I often do. As it stands at the moment, Aberdeen Northern Mart's grain is paying the most. I said Highland grain, the price was dropping, and it has dropped lower. This is under 4,000, but not much under 4,000 for 1,000 litres, so it's still going to be quite a good payment, I would imagine. If I can straighten up, of course. Okay. $183,000. Yeah, not much lower, let's be honest. That's not bad for one load of soybean. Nearly full grain tank, which means any second now because it had to run up the field. It's whether I can get to it before it stops. I hope so. There we go. Perfect. I'm thinking, actually, whilst it's going on, I know I'm seeding field 2829, my kind of hybrid field. I'm thinking once I finish in this field and I harvest field 31, I might plough 2829 together with field 31. So I've got one big field that sweeps around. If I'm going to stick soybean in both, I might as well stick it all together in one big field. So I might do that actually as well, make a larger field there. I mean, to be fair, there are large fields all around. All I've got to do is get enough money to buy them, I suppose, but it kind of makes sense. Unless, of course, I want to do a small crop in a smaller field, and then I haven't left myself any small fields to do anything in, and it means then partitioning other fields out. Don't know, it's a thinking process. I'm trying to work out what to do for the best, I think. I have got JCB is working right over on field 26, still cultivating. I made a bit of a boob there myself, and I'm having to go backwards and forwards because the work keeps stopping. The Massey Ferguson has got a full load to take to sell of soybean. Harvester is full, which I need to do as well. The Lemken Solitair I need to sell. The New Holland Roll-Belt 150 baler needs to be sold. There's a reason behind that too. I did say I was going to plough these fields together, so allow create fields. This is going to go over some of the little bits I've seeded actually just now, but I'm going to reseed it, so it doesn't really matter. I've got to try and get this to link up. I know I'm kind of digging up part of the track here, but I'm linking these two fields together, so it will be worth it in the end. It's not going to be the neatest line you've ever seen, quite clearly. So what I will do now is run up to the other end, probably this side first, and fill this gap. And then it will need cultivating, it will need fertilising, and then it can be seeded, and this will be one massive field. I know I said I might keep one separate, but if I have to at some point. I've got field 32 is not that huge, I can always do smaller crops on that. That'll be fine. So this process will continue. When I get to the top, I'll then do the line across the top to get that just right and fill in the gap. We will have a new field, an Uber field, not quite the scale of some of them on here. It'll be 28, 29 and 31 combined. This is where it's going to get a little bit more interesting, trying to get this bend right at the top. That doesn't seem too bad. It does link them, so we now have the two fields linked. And I shall continue to join these two up and then do the rest. Now I realise that I've got a lot of jobs on the go at the same time here, and I have had to be fair, I have as many complaints as I do sort of, not congratulations, that's the wrong word for it. Some people saying they like the fact that I kind of skip out all the bits that are unnecessary. Some people saying that I should really stick to one job, do one job right the way through. And I've said this before on all different Let's Plays, it's a juggling act, trying to kind of keep everyone happy. But in all honesty, you can hire workers, that's what they're there for, so it does become a bit of multitasking, juggling different jobs as we go along. To be fair, I should have taken that load to sell before I started doing the ploughing. I didn't get the two fields 26 and 27 cultivated. Those are things I can do whilst I'm doing other jobs. So I kind of bounce between all those different elements. But what I will do is probably take that load to sell now, finish off this ploughing off screen and get the other bits done that I need to get done. So as far as the worker goes over here on field 26, this was my error. I did a strip from one end to the other, and then I did a strip across the top, and the problem was, as soon as you set a worker, when it hits a strip that's been done already, that it doesn't recognise as a field boundary, it just says job's complete. So it will run up the field now, no problem, or across the field, not up the field. When it gets to the other side, it will turn around and come back because it reaches the field edge. When it gets back to the side where I just was, that's the bit I did, and it doesn't like it very much, so I'm bouncing backwards and forwards between setting off the worker. So now the worker's set off again on field 27. I'm going to have to go back again in a minute, it'll probably come back up. I'm going to grab the Massey Ferguson with the Joskin Drakkar and get over to... Oh, actually, that's a good point. Where am I going to? Where is the best price at the moment for soybean? Well, the bottom two are dropping. So Aberdeen Northern Marts Group Grains is the best price. It's not far off 4,000 actually, which is pretty good. In the interests of bringing some order to the chaos, most of your jobs are done. Cultivator helper D is blocked by an object. Of course it is. I dread to think what the object is, but at least if it's blocked it can't be doing any damage. I am in the process of cultivating the new part 31 of the field 28, 29 and 31 where it's all joined together. That's being cultivated. That will need fertilising. It will also need seeding. I'm going to sell the Solitaire. I'm selling the new Holland baler because I'm doing square bales. I've got a square baler. The only reason I had a round baler was to make silage bales, but because in the new Kuhn DLC there's the bale wrapper for square bales, I'm going to buy one of those. That way it kind of covers all the bases. So first thing I'm going to do is just finish off this soybean harvest by selling this load, and we'll see how much we made all together, which will be interesting. So that's another 90,000. So what will happen as I pull away, on the screen will pop up how much we made altogether on the harvest. Now, I did buy the JCB 803310, and I sold the other one, so I made a little bit of money back, but I did buy a new tractor. I also bought this Joskin trailer, so I lost a little bit of money selling the other one, but that went towards this. So bought a couple of bits of machinery, but it'd be interesting to see how much we made overall. I'm thinking it's going to be in the region of 650,000, I reckon, off that soybean harvest, and that was 3 fields. So I'm thinking 4 fields or a bigger field. Soybean is where you're going to make a killing. I'm hoping to do the same with silaging as well. I need to check on that at some point to see how far along we are in the fermenting process with the silage up at the biogas plant. But that is the soybean harvest done. So I can concentrate now on seeding, which I'm going to need to do, which means I'm going to need to buy a new seeder because I'm going to sell the Solitaire. But what I will do is take this back, I'll bring the Solitaire over, I'll bring the harvester over, and we'll buy a couple of new bits of equipment. Whether we'll use them or not in this episode, we might do. We might start using them. It's been a bit bitty so far. I'm fully aware of that. So I'm trying to get us a bit of recording that's longer than 30 seconds of machinery flashing across the screen. Probably a bit of tidying up will be in order around the yard, I would imagine. So the next step in Operation Make a Massive Field is going to be finishing off the fertilising. Cultivating is nearly done. I'm looking at the shape of the field, trying to work out the best way for seeding and in future fertilising, cultivating, all that kind of thing. And this bit on the end here is the bit that's a bit of an issue because it goes off at a diagonal. Everything wants to go up straight up the field, but it's all going off to the right. So I don't know whether to use the rollers and take that edge off and use that maybe for sugar beet or something, or potatoes in the future. It'll be an odd shape, but it'll be relatively small, but then it will give you a straighter edge for doing everything else, because this line actually runs, if you look, don't need that now, fold out. This line here runs directly off in the right direction it needs to go. Everything else wants to come off this perpendicular that direction, but the end of the field goes off at an angle. So yeah, I'm just to be fair, if the whole field works fine and it goes in straight lines apart from the top where it arcs around a little bit, if that's the only bit of the field that's an issue, just do it myself. It's not too much of a problem. So 26 and 27 are both cultivated, fertilised. Field, well, whatever it is now, 28, 29 is done and seeded, but 31 where I've added it is now cultivated, and I'm finished off the fertilising. That will need seeding with soybean too, as will 26 and 27, which is going to take a bit of time. I did, as you probably noticed in the little kind of mini montage earlier with the music, grab the T6 and brought that over, only because I had so many different vehicles doing different jobs. I needed the vehicle, so I'll see how this gets on with the worker, what it does when it gets to the top. I mean, it should turn around fine. It's like I say, it's going to be that top corner, that little knobbly bit that's going to be a bit of a problem. I'm sure it'll be fine. I know it's going to seem weird, and I'm back in the Solitaire, or in it. I'm in the case Magnum, but I've got the Solitaire. I still had about 1,000 litres of seed in it, so I thought, well, you know what, rather than take it back with 1,000 litres of seed in it, I've paid for that. I'll start on field 31 seeding. Once I run out, I'll take it back, buy the new seeder. But you can see where I went up, there's a diagonal line with the fertiliser sprayer where it kind of overlapped ever so slightly on the other field. It's not a problem. I'm going to leave all of this till it's all grown anyway, because obviously half the field, 28, 29, is going to grow before this bit, 31, because it was seeded much earlier. But I will wait until it's all ready before I harvest the whole lot. As you can see though, looking over there, it is quite an expanse. And I need to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, so you can see the diagonal line where the two fields meet. But it's going to be quite a productive one, I think, with these three fields, 26, 27, 28, 29 and 31 joined together. That's going to be my soybean. That, you know, I'm not going to do any more fields of soybean, I don't think, because in all honesty, having made, I think it's going to be knocking on, well, 650,000, I think. With this extra bit here now, having 28 and 29 on here, I reckon next time I do a soybean harvest I'm going to be looking at 800,000 probably, just for the soybean. So not bad at all. So after all the rushing around, all the insanity, some calm. And I'll spend some time just getting the seed in the ground. Actually, I don't know, I'm going to get most of this field done with this solitaire, I think, before I run out of seed. All that tract's in the way now. Silly place to leave the JCB. I am also considering either another harvester, or possibly another harvester, and another tractor, another high horsepower one, because if I get a big seeder and the Lemken Gigant 10 cultivator requires I know this is going to seem weird, I just realised I missed a bit. I know I had a complaint the other week that I was being too fussy. I didn't know if that was for the video generally, that it was too fussy all over the place, or whether I was being too fussy with regard to kind of my OCD. Don't know. Yeah, I just think because with the bigger machinery I need more horsepower. So I might need another large horsepower machine. Don't know what to go for yet. Might go for the big Valtra, or possibly a Fent maybe. Don't know. I'm just again, it's more musings, thoughts in my head. As the farm expands, bigger machinery is needed. I am running down rapidly. I'm the last 10 litres and I haven't quite managed to do it. 3, 2, 1, done. Out of seed. So that's the solitaire done. This tiny bit of the field left, which will need to be done with whatever seeder I get next. This is going to go and be sold. I'm glad I came back out with it actually, because to be fair, it's done the majority of this field. Try and avoid driving back over it. I'm assuming the crop destruction only works once the first growth stage comes through. I wouldn't imagine if you drive over it now, having been seeded, it would... I honestly don't know, it might cause some problems. Who knows? So, this is going back, and the new Holland Roll-Belt is going back. I suppose it would have made more sense to lease it, wouldn't it? Have it on a loan agreement to start off with and see what you think of it. And if you want it, buy it. Never mind. You live and learn. Time to sell. Okay. Say goodbye to the solitaire. 102,000. Okay. and the Roll-Belt 50,000. Okay, so we end the episode, and it is the end of the episode, on £903,119. It's been a hectic day, it's been a frantic day, with lots of selling, cultivating, fertilising, ploughing, lots of odds and ends. New machinery with the JCB Fast Track, and then some bits of machinery sold. So next episode there'll be some new machinery. I will probably, well, I don't know, I might start the seeding off and set worker on that on field 26 and 27, so we'll probably see the start of that in the next episode, plus field 22, which is just behind that building there, which is ours. It's got sunflower in, so we need to do a sunflower harvest in preparation for putting poplars in the ground. So yeah, all very very industrious. Obviously at the time of recording this I haven't worked out what the total was we made on the soybean harvest. That would have come up earlier on when I mentioned it. That came up on the screen. So as it stands at the moment, we made however much it was it said earlier. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you have, give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share the video, please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.